I'm Wildman Wes, and welcome back to Shocktoberfest 2021. For day 23, we have a little bit of a kind of light-hearted horror comedy. This one is Rudy DeLuca's 1985 Transylvania 6-5000. For those of you who have never seen this movie, I recommend at least a one watch in general. You don't have to watch it once a year, but it is definitely worth a one watch. So the movie is about two tabloid journalists named Jack and Gil, who are working for this paper, or a tabloid for that matter, that just delves into a lot of bullshit. And the owner, who happens to be Gil's father, says, I have this tape that came from Transylvania and they found Frankenstein and I want you to go out to Transylvania and figure out what's going on. Jack, much to his chagrin, does not want to go. Gil, he's just like, hey, I want the money. I'll do it. I'll do what Daddy says. It's just what I do. So they go to Transylvania and they meet the mayor, who laughs hysterically in their faces about the fact that they're asking where Frankenstein is. And they do have a Transylvania tourist attraction for some guests that are coming through from America. And it's basically in the style of a Transylvania mansion. While Jack and Gil are traveling around trying to gather up information, Jack meets this young woman named Elizabeth and her little daughter Laura. He's trying to flirt with her to try to pretty much get a date out of her at least. And Gil is looking around still trying to find information. While this is going on, they find out something about a woman, this gypsy woman, whose son apparently became the Wolfman. While they go to investigate at his house, they see him walking outside in normal human form, and he steps into the bushes when it's a full moon out. When they see what he's doing, they realize he's outside having an affair with another woman, so oops. So they're realizing that maybe this situation is a bit of a hoax and they're not going to deal with this anymore. However, while that's going on, the mayor finds the false tape of the Frankenstein monster, and he's not really wanting them to be around anymore. Also, you also find out some more information that the mayor dealt with this gentleman named Dr. Malavacqua. This man who is pretty much a mad scientist. Someone who's, the cookie fell off the table a long time ago. There's all the crumbs are on the ground and the rats are picking it up. Well, Jack and Gil went up the hill to try to find Malavacqua. Yeah, pretty much like that. They find out that the doctor is actually in a sanitarium because he lost his mind. And when Malavacqua gets broken out of prison by the sanitarium by the mayor, he goes back to the old lab, starts losing his mind. And Jack and Gil are trying to figure out how to get him back to normal, while they come across a bunch of different creatures, much like a mummy, a vampire, and also a Frankenstein monster. Dun-dun-dun-dun! Well, while they're all going about not necessarily terrorizing the town, but just they're noticed and they get, the townspeople get scared, Jack and Gil realize that Malavacqua wasn't even really a mad scientist. He really didn't do anything to transform anybody. The townspeople realize they were mad about nothing. Frankenstein monster pretty much just had a horrible accident, and Malavacqua tried to pretty much do like plastic surgery and skin grafts, and it just didn't work out. That was his first creation. The Wolfman basically just had a body hair problem where he just became just a hairy beast. There was a vampiress named Odette who wasn't really she wasn't a vampire. She wasn't a vampiress. No, she just got a nose job and it just freaked her out. So they put fangs in her mouth and just made her feel, like a vampire because she felt that vampires were sexy. The mummy was basically just a woman that, I guess what they would say, fell off the ugly tree. And Dr. Malavacqua performed a couple surgeries and then she became drop-dead gorgeous. Hey, what do you know? This is the 80s after all. So then the people of Transylvania realize, okay, this isn't that bad. So you know what, Malavacqua, you're fine. You know what? We realize the error of our ways. Everybody's accepted. Jack and Gil take pictures to make it look like tabloid stuff of a vampire and Frankenstein, send it back to America. They keep their jobs, and everybody pretty much just lives happily ever after. That's the movie. Now it's time to talk about what I like and what I don't like about this film. We're going to talk about what I don't like first. I'm trying to think exactly. I would say the things that I don't like about it seems like there's just too much going on at once. It's one thing to have an ensemble of different monsters. There is a movie that, spoiler alert, will be reviewed at some point at the end of this series this year that has to deal with an ensemble of creatures. However, in this one, it just seemed like, boom, I'm here, boom, I'm here, no, I'm here, no, I'm here, no, I'm here, I'm here. This is basically a battle of who gets camera time, who gets screen time. And it's a little bit mind-boggling. I mean, I don't have much experience with ADD, or ADHD for that matter, but watching this movie, I could have a little bit from this one, maybe just a little. Not diagnosed, but just
Harper's own shiny red ball.
That's only the real thing I can really think of. I mean, other than the fact, I guess you could say this is kind of a quasi-parody. I mean, this is a movie that's definitely takes tropes from, like, Mel Brooks' Young Frankenstein, the Airplane series, Naked. It's basically a horror version of, like, Naked Gun or something along those lines, where there's just a lot of slapstick comedy going on. Not a bad thing, but not necessarily the greatest thing, because a lot of these, like I said, this was an 80s movie, much like, especially the sequel to Airplane, as well as the Naked Gun series. A lot of these movies had that same type of trope where it kind of beat us over the head after a while. But then again, this movie isn't a horrible movie, because there are some things that I like about it. There's quite a lot that I like about this. The cast alone is just phenomenal. You've got a great ensemble for this one. I mean, you've got Jeff Goldblum and Ed Begley Jr. playing Jack and Gil. I mean, their energy together is just great, and just how they play off of each other when things go wrong. I mean, it's very how do I put it? It's very Laurel and Hardy style. I mean, it's like there's almost a fourth wall break, but not quite. I mean, it's just they're holding their cards up. They almost give you a little peek, but then they pull it right back, and that's what I enjoy about those two. You also have Gina Davis playing Odette the Vampirist. You have Carol Kane as one part of a servant couple, and she's basically like, she's almost like a nympho in a way. She just keeps going after her husband, just obsessively, and it's freaking hilarious because she almost knocks him over and beats the crap out of him. We also have Jeffrey Jones, Principal Rooney himself, playing the mayor of Transylvania. He's been showing up a lot in this year's reviews. We have Michael Richards, we have Kramer from Seinfeld, playing a butler or a servant named Frejos. He's this one is very much in the line of his character Stanley from UHF that Weird Al Yankovic had starred in. And Michael Richards is definitely one of those crazy and good character actors. In this one, I think he shines out just as good as he did as Stanley in UHF. You have Teresa Ganzel, who plays Elizabeth. She's not really known to a lot of people, especially nowadays. Back in the 80s, one movie that I remember her being in was The Toy with, Richard Pryor and, Ralph Cramden himself, Mr. Gleason, Mr. Jackie Gleason, and, what's his name? The kid who played Schwartz and, the kid who played Flick in Christmas Story. We have another character in here that I like. The actor Donald Gibb plays the Wolfman. Most people, like pop culture fans, like Ogre from Revenge of the Nerds. Also, Ray Jackson from Bloodsport. So yeah, that's kind of cool. And hearing him just make fun of the Doctor the whole time and saying, he's like, you're so full of shit, Doc. I'm just full of Harry. I can't help it. I mean, just his manner is... His manner of just being sarcastic to people in movies, this one is just the same, and bless his heart for it. There's also a lot of cliches in the movie, especially with horror movies, cliches alone. There's like the whole, don't go in the room, the chandelier falling, that's great too. Other things, there are some nods. There's a fourth wall break to a degree where Gil's dad, Mac, being the tabloid owner, Jeff Goldblum's character, Jack, says, come on, Mac, this is crap. You know this is crap. And Mac just goes, yeah, well, I know this is a crap business. That's why I make a lot of money in it. And so that's a nice little fourth wall break without, looking at the audience, where it's just basically, it's like, yeah, he's in on it. It's all good. Another one that I thought was funny was when Jack and Gil first go to the hotel in Transylvania. Jack runs into a concierge who he's a bit of a pervert in a way. Like, he takes everything as a double entendre, and anytime Jack says, hey, I'm looking for this, or I'm looking to find this, he's like, oh, you're looking for, this? Oh, here, let me go talk to this person. And it's very reminiscent of Monty Python, where Eric Idle's doing the, Joe, I forgot, not me, not sign him out, not me. So, I liked that. Now it's time to grade this film. After weighing both situations of the good and the bad, I'm going to go ahead and give this one a solid B. The movie, like I said, has its flaws, but at the same time, they really do a good job with the energy and the timing of certain comedic moments. Like I said, a lot of stuff goes on in this film where it makes you a little discombobulated. However, when it comes to certain interactions, whether it be Carol Kane and the actor playing her husband, or Jeff Goldblum and Ed Begley Jr., or even just Michael Richards just running around and falling all over the place, I enjoy that thoroughly. So yeah, this movie, solid B. Well, we hope you enjoyed this review. Make sure that you leave a thumbs up. If you didn't agree with everything that I said, it's okay to leave a thumbs down. I totally understand. Also, make sure that you share on social media, but most importantly, I hope you push that little red button. And don't forget to ring the bell for instant notifications, because honestly, if it weren't for viewers like you and the subscribers that have been around for the last 4 years, we wouldn't be doing this. I honestly have had so much fun doing this, and I still look forward to, I mean, come on, we've got 8 more movies in this series this year, and we've got more stuff planned ahead, and, you know, I'm digressing a little bit, but I just wanted to say, since I haven't really said it this series yet, so far, thank you to everybody that has been a part of this. It's been a treat, and we've got a few more tricks up our sleeve. Until then, I'm Wildman Wes, and we'll see you tomorrow for day 24 of SHOCKTOBERFEST 2021. Stay tuned. Thanks for watching, and as always, stay scared.